Welcome to Titan Upload Live, back to our normal time on Sunday nights. I am thrilled to be here. I am thrilled that you're here. This is going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of talk about, obviously, the Titans. We're going to get into Adam Rank and his prediction. We're gonna break down the video. It's literally 3 minutes. This guy from last year having us going 3-13. I mean, there's not a whole lot to put into him. I will poke holes in some of his statements. Some of his statements are totally whacked out. He puts no thought. He puts no energy into the Titans. He never does. And there's a couple things that I think you should know. And this is what he does. He's trying to get a rise out of you. Don't fall for it this time. Please don't. I want to talk to you about it. I want to talk to Mr. Titan about it when we get him on the show here in a minute, because it resonates with me. It should resonate with you. It's a big deal, and it's a reason why I think a lot of these national guys, no matter what, have a very low opinion on the Titans. The Titans have went 9-7 4 straight years. The Titans have been literally in the playoff race all 4 years. Made it twice, didn't make it the other 2 times. The Titans have had injuries. The Titans have had drop passes, Nick Williams. The Titans have had a lot of misfortune, and they've had a lot of Derrick Henry running the ball and Ryan Tannehill, A.J. Brown, all those things coming together. Defense playing out of their minds, goal line stands, 4th and 1 stands, playoff runs. The Tennessee Titans, they don't make sense to the media. The media cannot grasp the fact why the Titans are good. Okay? So I have something to bring to your attention. I haven't even made a video about it. I was sitting there thinking about this the other day. What is the point of joining a live show? What is the point of joining a live show? You come in, you probably don't want to hear me just ramble on and on, right? What is the content? Is there anything going on? There is some clowny stuff, so don't let me forget. You guys got to leave something in the chat room. You know me. Sometimes I'll forget what's going on, but I do have a little bit of clowny news. I'm going to do this Tuesday. We're doing Monday. We're coming back tomorrow. Yeah, it was a surprise, but you're here, so I wanted to tell you. Bringing Brian back on. Brian got a new job through the draft. He will tell us about it. But we are going to look more into these picks, kind of see where they're going to, and we're going to get a professional in, right? I mean, I can only do so much. So that's tomorrow's show. Everything's kind of changing. Fantasy football is coming right around the corner. I'd like to do something with that. Fan-to-Fan Network, I broke that yesterday. We will be doing that. Titan Upload was asked to be a part of that. It's going to change everything. It's going to be huge, and we'll do a Q&A at some point. But you're here to see Mr. Titan. So I want to bring in Mr. Titan, and I do want to get to your comments as well. But I want to thank Mr. Titan for obviously joining the show. So I want to put him on the screen, and then we want to talk to Mr. Titan. So Mr. Titan is in the house. There he is. Boom. Mr. Titan, it's all you, man. You are all on the screen. Just tell us about where they can find you, what you've been doing. A lot of interviews lately, and just kind of give us the inside to what's going on, man. Thanks for joining the show, by the way.
So, thank you, Upload, for having me again. Love being on the show, man. Just want to say what's up, Titan Nation. Just want to say thank everyone for showing up. I think Al's in the house. What's up, Big Al? Everyone. And lately I just been just grinding, man. Just trying to talk to some people. Just try to give good content out there. You guys can find me on Twitter. Twitter is mr.titan5. I'm sorry. Mr._Titan5. They didn't let me do the dot. So _Titan5. And just hit me up. Give me a DM. I love talking Tennessee Titan football. I love everyone on Twitter. I mean, Titan, like you said, the Titan community is really, really big and friendly. And I love just talking, even if it's not even Titan football. Tell me about, a little bit about your background. I'll tell you a little bit about mine, and we'll just have communications like that. I had Jim Lacey, which he owns a cupcake. And I think it's I don't remember where it was, but it's in Nashville, and I mean, he was showing me some of his cheesecakes that he does and stuff like that. And I talked to him, and he was telling me how long he's been married and stuff like that. So again, it's not always football. I mean, I love to talk football, but we could always talk about other interests and stuff like that. And other than that, man, I've just been really busy with just trying to come up with a new show that I think it's heading the right direction. I'm gonna start filming soon, and I'm also got a couple more interviews down the line. Hopefully, you guys are ready for that. I mean, I had the first interview was Gerald McGrath, and I mean, it was an awesome guy. Very first interview I did. TD was cool as well. I had Jim Wyatt on. If you guys haven't checked out Jim Wyatt, go to Mr. Titan on YouTube. Check him out. It was a really good interview. Had Lance Smith, who hosts Titans Blitz, and he was super down to earth guy. And even after we were done with the interview, after I stopped, because that interview went on for about almost an hour and like 40 minutes, we still ended up talking for almost 3 hours, just talking random stuff. So just look out for the future, guys. Again, I'm pretty new to the YouTube world, but done only a couple videos, but I'm here for the long run. So hopefully you guys will join me, and I love Titan Nation.
Yeah, you do, man. I mean, you have been rising the ranks, man, but the people you get on, the guests you get on, and shout out to Tennessee Titans Weekly, by the way. Vince Young. Woo! That's the thing.
Awesome.
Like, man, my thing's all tangled up. We'll get that fixed here. But the the local media, I mean, you guys are what drives Titans Nation. It's you guys. And if you listen to that interview, I mean, Vince Young made some comments now. He made some comments. He made some comments on Tannehill.
He did.
And he made obviously some comments on Jeff Fisher. But there's some stuff in there to digest. I mean, why is it so hard if A to Z Sports is listening, why is it so hard to take something that, Tennessee Titans Weekly did? I mean, they brought in Vince Young and they got a headline story. So instead of playing like Blitz and doing some of these other things that we hear the same thing about, man, Tennessee Titans Weekly gets Vince Young in there. He says, hey, you could run with it, man. I mean, you could run with it, have a lot of discussion on it.
Definitely. Shout out to Tennessee Titans Weekly. If you guys haven't seen that interview, go check it out after this. I mean, it was great. They had really good questions, and they were both engaged. You can tell he enjoyed it. He enjoyed the interview. So
what we want to do now is we want to give you guys a chance to, before we get into Adam Rank and really get this going, there's one new thing that's going to happen on this channel, and it starts today, okay? We try to be as professional as we can. I would think Mr. Titan would agree with that statement. I mean, we really do. We put in a lot of works. The video that I came out with the other day with Chris Jackson, right? I mean, I almost called him Chris Johnson all the time. And I was up till 4 a.m, dude, making that video. 4 a.m.
Oof.
And trying to like clip it up, finding the right songs to go with the backdrop. I mean, it's a lot of work to put, a lot of time into this stuff. But what I would say is we try to be professional as we can. So we need to end on a certain, this show needs to be from like 9:05 to 10:05. And once we get to 10:05, boom, and then maybe we can do, and maybe we could do some like overtime show or whatever. But I think that would make sense. So people really know like, hey, when's the show going to, and what's in it for me? Do I have to wait to the end to find out anything? And I think we tried to do that, but that's something I'll be working on. I haven't given up basically an update on the website lately. The website is what it is. It's still a work in progress. You got a guy that has no idea how to make a website, but he's trying for you guys. And what's the idea would be to try to get these live shows where they actually end up on the website, so you would know, it'd be easy to find. But like I said, it gives me more of an avenue to put some of these stories together for you guys. And just have a little fun with them. So the calendar is my number one feature on there, to getting, everybody knows when we're going live, and, probably trying to help maybe even connect the Titans community together on when everybody's going live, so you guys can definitely not miss anything. Okay? But I did want to kind of point that out there. DeMario, I want to give him a shout out. He always gives me good information. He did it again this week. So, DeMario, I wanted to give you a shout out, man. I really do appreciate it. And you guys, I've been putting some of your comments in the house. Sin City Titan is actually in, do they call Vegas Sin City, or is that New York? I don't know.
No,
Who's
that's Vegas.
Is it Vegas?
Vegas.
Okay. So maybe that's why he has his name. Maybe we learned something today. So Sin City, it's good to see you back, man. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Titans are not getting paper back. That's according to Jesus. Jesus said something about your mic. I don't know. Jesus said something about the side of the mic. Are we too loud or are we too soft? You let me know.
Maybe we'll
fix it.
I'm like on top of the mic all the time.
Yeah, I don't. My mic, I have to be on the side. Some mics, you have to be on the top. So who knows? But if we're not sounding right, you just let us know. Noah says rumors are that the Titans, Jaguars, Chargers for Kaepernick. We'll get into that if we have time. That's a discussion that may take a little bit of time to digest and to look at. I'm not sure we could get Mr. Titan's first opinion on it, but like I said, it's definitely something to at least discuss because the backup situation still has me somewhat uneasy. And I don't want to just go into the season thinking Ryan Tannehill's going to get hurt because let's be honest, if most teams lost their starting quarterback, look at the Bucs. All right, the Bucs, they got Blaine Gabbert as their backup. So if Brady gets hurt for the Bucs, that's done. So it is what it is. So let's digest. You ready to get into this, man?
Let's go, man. Let's do this.
All right. So Adam Rank last year had the Titans at 3-13. Mr. Titan, what was your first initial thought? Remember, this is a family show, by the way. But what was your first thought when you heard this guy just go up there and ramble about the Titans for 3 minutes, which made no sense, and we ended up the year 3-13?
You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. I stopped watching ESPN a long time ago. I think just because look at last year. Last year, all the TV shows, all ESPN was talking about was usually the other team. They never gave the Titans credit. Usually when we beat the Patriots, it's how did the Patriots lose? No recognition of, hey, the Titans just maybe played a really good game. No, it was just how did the Patriots beat themselves up, or how did the Ravens didn't show up? No, we executed very good games, and there's no credit whatsoever. So again, I wasn't really surprised, to be honest with you. I'm kind of used to it now, but when he did come out with that, I was appalled.
Yeah, and it's
family.
It's like one of those things too. Like this room, you guys, Johnny, thanks for the comment on Kaepernick. I think that makes perfect sense. He said they're not afraid to basically go ahead and sign him because people they're not afraid to basically speak their mind anymore, supposedly. And if they want to kneel, everybody's coming out. If you've seen some of the comments lately, it seems like the players are not holding back anymore. So, I can't believe Jim Wyatt put some of those things on there. You had Jim Wyatt on your show. Somebody made a comment on Derrick Henry's hair. Somebody made a comment on the kneeling. And then somebody made a comment to, what's his name on the Browns, and he fired back at him, Mayfield. So, I get it. If he can win games, I think that's where we come together. That's what matters. Can we win games? And I've heard over the last couple of weeks, I've heard Antonio Brown. I've heard I think we're at the point now as the Titans, we want anybody on this team who can help us win because we feel like Vrabel is strong enough. We feel like the locker room with Byard and co. are strong enough that, even if we have some distractions. I was a Bulls fan. I still am. We brought in Dennis Rodman. We won 3 championships. Nobody wanted to give Dennis Rodman the time or the day. And, wow. We were able to win 3 championships, and Rodman was a very vital piece of that. So,
yeah, he was.
If you can win, I think that's the point. And we'll get to Clowney in a little bit too. But yeah, we'll definitely get into some of those comments if we got more time. So thank you for leaving comments. So Adam Rank, 3-13, NFL Network comes out and just says all this crap, okay? Last year, Mariota was It was supposed to be his year. Derrick Henry showed what he could do at the end of the year. The Titans really didn't lose anybody. And they should have made the playoffs. If it wasn't for Mariota being hurt, probably would have. Mm-hmm. And then we go to 3-13. So this year, I'm going to put it on there real quick if you haven't checked this out. They got them going. They got us going 8-8. Now, I'll get to Mr. Titan here in a second because I want to hear his opinion on it. But guys, before you go off on Adam Rank right now, think of it this way. The last 4 years we were 9-7. There were things in each season that we could have either been 10-6 or 8-8. So on the surface, if you came to me and you said, hey, I think the Titans are going 8-8. Honestly, if you had a reason why, I would listen to you and I would say, okay. And I would look at the schedule. You would tell me where you think we're not going to match up well. And I'll be honest with you. If we can't stop the run in this schedule, we're going to be in trouble. And if he would have came out and said that, I would have been fine. But Mr. Titan, first of all, for you, what do you think at 8-8? I mean, how do you feel about that this year compared to last year?
No, I don't think 8-8 is good. I think the worst that we could do, and people might get on me, is like I said, 9-7. Another 9-7 year. I think that's the worst the Titans can do. I had them going when I was on the show and we did the breakdown of the schedule. I had them going 10-6. I think that's our number. I think that's
what I had. So I think too.
10-6. I think we'll get that magic 10 number. But I think worst case scenario is 9-7. But again, like I talked to Jim Wyatt, he was saying, he's like, would you rather go, like the Ravens 14-2 and get knocked out, or go 9-7 again and get to the AFC Championship? So
that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, Jameson, I hear you, man. Jameson says, why are we giving this guy any time at all? I understand you. But there is a reason. And the second story, which kind of goes off of this, that's why I even put Adam Rank in here. I thought I could go the whole show talking about the second part, but I think this is going to transition very, very well. Here's the issue I have with it, okay? At 8-8, like, I get it, 8-8, right? There are some tough teams on this. We don't know who the Cinderellas are going to be. There's always a team that seems to go from last to first. I do think the Colts got better. I think the Texans, even though they got rid of Hopkins, they're still could be good.
They're a threat.
Yep, they're a threat. Mm-hmm. I don't really too much into the Jaguars, but, he has us losing to the Jaguars one time. Guys, that's a possibility. I mean, throughout the years in this 9-7 stretch, I mean, there are times where we just don't play very well against Jacksonville, and even we squeak one out 9-6 or whatever. Division games are crazy. They're difficult. We get all that. But here's the issue, and I'll put this on the screen one more time. First of all, he absolutely has a crush. I'm going to go ahead and say it, okay? Call it a high school crush, grade school crush. I don't care. He has a thing for the Denver Broncos. He does. So his opening statement, Mr. Titan, he says, well, I expect Drew Lock to be awesome this year, basically, and, we're going to, Denver's just going to win the game. Okay. Adam Rank, great analysis. He's got Denver. I'm not kidding you. He has Denver, okay, at 11-5, winning the AFC West, and a 2 seed for the playoffs. I mean, you've lost all credibility. Can the Broncos be good? Yes. Can they be second best? I don't know. What do the Chiefs have to do, Adam Rank, to get your love, right? What do you feel about the Broncos? You think they can go 11-5 and second in the AFC total?
No, absolutely not. I don't think they'll be a decent team. But I don't see them going 11-5. That's a little ludicrous right there. I think they can find their momentum. Don't get me wrong, but again, 11-5 is just too high. It's like the Broncos are like the new Browns of last year. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like all that hype like last year, everyone said the Browns were going to Super Bowl, this and that. and
Yep.
look what happened. So I think everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, but don't get me wrong, the defense got a lot
Oh yeah.
stronger
Yeah.
again. So, but it's just the offense needs to click a little bit more.
And the other thing is, how can you be 11-5 and be the 2 seed? I mean, that's going to be difficult in itself, anyways. Honestly, because there's some really good teams. Pittsburgh's going to be better this year. Buffalo, I think. I'll tell you now, but Buffalo's going to be pretty good. Here's
They're going to
second.
be the dark horse.
Yep. Here's a second thing. Okay. He gets upset in the video. I'm not kidding you guys. He gets upset because we're not playing Jacksonville on Thursday Night Football. I mean, that is a total shot right there. That tells you his opinion of the Titans. Because everybody knows over the last how many years before we got better, before we brought in J-Rob, the laughing stock of the AFC South were the Titans and the Jaguars every year. So what did they do, Mr. Titan? Put us up
Thursday
against
night, baby. Yep.
Thursday night, every night. It was, I mean, there is no, what's the Masters or whatever about the tradition like no other, Titans, Jaguars on Thursday night. So, again, that's the second issue I have with this when he rambles on. The last thing is what we're going to transition to and move on. He basically says at the end of that we've run Derrick Henry too much the last 2 years, and he basically can't do it again. That's what he said. And I remember a couple shows ago, we broke down and compared Eddie George, Chris Johnson, not Chris Jackson, and we broke down Derrick Henry. And what's the one thing we came up with in the first 4 years? That the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry did not get a whole lot of work. I want to say he averaged 7 carries his first year, 11 carries his second year, and 13 carries his third year. Adam Rank, dude, just do something for me, okay? Like, just research. Like, do your job. It's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Titan, but it's like, this is what we do for fun, right? And I feel like we know way more about this team. We're passionate. We love this team. But I feel like I could go ask my daughter, who just watches games every so often, and she would be able to tell you more than this guy. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely right. I mean, I feel like it's really hard because how does this guy have a job working? It's unbelievable. It's like mind blowing. It happened last year as well. They were talking about the Titans and they were saying that Corey Davis was the only, I forgot who was the one that mentioned it, saying that Corey Davis was the only biggest threat. And I'm like, do they not know about AJ Brown? Like, what is happening here? Like,
nothing.
It's unbelievable.
So Johnny says, if Derrick Henry maybe gets off, because Johnny makes up a good point. So thanks for joining the show, Johnny, by the way. If Derrick Henry gets off to a fast start, he's always kind of, and I don't blame him. I think it's more of the Titans, if anything, on how they get him involved early in the season. But it usually is a slow start for him. But what do you feel about like 2,000 yards? Now, I made a statement last week, I think it was, in the morning show. Honestly, I probably don't even want Derrick Henry running for 2,000 yards because I've seen what it has done to people. I've seen what it did to Chris Johnson. I seen when Eddie George had like 403 carries in 1 year in the 2000 season. And towards the play, I mean, he had the one playoff game, against the Ravens because we got upset. But I just want him fresh so he can do what he did this past year again. So do you think we should put too much focus on the 2,000 yards? How do you feel about that?
No, again, as long as we win, he could run the ball 10 times. As long as we win and he's effective, it's fine. Look what happened last year when we were running the ball so many times. That hamstring, that's something that lingers all the time. And look how many games he missed and stuff like that. You don't want that to happen, especially towards when we're supposed to start peaking or start going to the playoffs. You don't want an injured, Derrick Henry going to the playoffs. And so again, I'm not too worried about 2,000. I mean, it would be nice, don't get me wrong. But again, he's that type of player that doesn't really care about the records and stuff. You saw that game when he destroyed the Jacksonville. He was telling Deion Lewis to get in the game because he didn't want to. I mean, he could have gotten another touchdown, and he didn't want to do it.
No.
So
Deion wasn't.
I don't think. I mean, Deion wasn't doing anything, but I just don't think he's too worried about breaking 2,000. I think he's more worried about winning a championship. And
Yeah.
I agree. I'm all on board with winning a championship than records.
You brought up a great point. Like, I don't even know if Derrick Henry would want to get 2,000 yards because of just the type of guy he is and how he is team first. Now, I did want to get to some of your comments. So, personally, I think, Adam Rank, 8-8. I mean, I mean, we could be 8-8, right? I mean, if anything, injury happens, sure. There are going to be some games that, like the Bears. The Bears have a really good defense. I don't know what the offense is going to look like with the Bears. I don't know how long it's going to take certain parts of our offense to start gelling again. I just, looking at more and more film against Kansas City and some of these other games that we played in the end of the year, I mean, that left side, Saffold is just dominating people. He gets no love, nationally, I don't think. And he really turned it up, man. And Lawan, that side of the line was...
Nate Davis as well.
Nate Davis stepped up. And then now you got, Isaiah Wilson. You got, Dennis Kelly. Those guys are going to have to fill in. I don't know how long that's going to take. I think a lot of you guys are not on board with me for this, and I try to tell you, and I'll keep telling you. But Corey Davis, man, I think Corey Davis, he's very vital. And for all of the, you guys that get on him and like he stinks and, he can't play and all that stuff, that's fine. That's your opinion. But if that's the way it's going to be and J-Rob doesn't make a move and he sticks with Corey Davis, at the 2 spot all year, we're going to have a heck of a season. It's not going to be as good as you think it's going to be without. We need someone else. You saw what happened when a number 1 corner went up against A.J. Brown in the Saints game. I think A.J. Brown had 1 catch for 5 yards, man. You can't.
Yes.
You need somebody. All the greats have a companion. Michael Jordan had Scottie Pippen, LeBron James.
Vince Young.
Had a bunch of people to help him. Bosh and Wade. Vince Young, he had Chris Johnson, right? So
you had Chris Carter and Randy Moss.
Oh, yeah, he did have Randy Moss in one. I don't think they really played Randy Moss, but they did trade for him. That was a step for Fisher. So let's get to some of your comments and kind of go from there. We've been kind of going on about this, and then we're going to transition. We are right now at 9:38, and we are at 35 likes. We started strong. I think at the first 5 minutes of the show, we had 30 likes. So things are fine. Things are going good. We're going to get to 50, I have a feeling. Got some newer people in the house today, so that's awesome. Thanks for joining us. And again, you can find Mr. Titan on Instagram. You can find his YouTube channel. You can find him on Twitter. And me, you can find me pretty much the same places. I think Facebook, you can find me as well. So, Oscar, thank you for being here. Let's see. Beal, we are Titans fam. Hey, Zeus, there's the comment. Chad, Jags are trash. I think I already put that up there. King Nat says tighten up. Jameson in the house. We got to one of his comments already.
What's up, Jameson?
Says, what did I miss when I got, what did I miss? Just got off work. You haven't really missed much. I went off for the first 5 minutes. That's pretty much what happened. So I think you should be all caught up. Kaepernick rumors. I know that came up. Chef's in the house. Wouldn't mind Cap as a backup, especially if Tannehill goes down. I think there is some trust factor in that the backup, Logan, Woodside, or, Cole McDonald. I don't know how you feel about him. Weez in the house. What's going on, Weez? Good to have you. As always, 501 in the house. Says 3-13, just crazy. Let's see. Is it BR? Titans video feed is lagged behind a bit. Well, that's my fault. It's actually not my fault. I sound like Marcus Mariota. I'm blaming myself. It's not Mr. Titan's fault either. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these guys under the bus. It's Skype's fault. Skype has just been awful lately. They got to step up their game. Do you agree, Mr. Titan?
I don't know. I'm trying to see how it is on my phone. That's why I'm looking to my right. But it seems okay. But if the Titan fans say that they don't agree, then I agree with them. I don't agree either.
Yeah. So I can upgrade for $10 a month and get the Zoom feature. And honestly, we might just have to do it because Skype has been come on, just pick your game up. I'm not going to say anything bad. Just pick your game up. Let's see.
Zoom is doing pretty good, man.
Jesus says he probably lost 5K during the Titans versus Ravens. I don't really know what that is, man. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to catch up on some of these comments. Let's see. Cowart says Adam Rank don't like us much. He doesn't. Yams. I love when people doubt us. That's when we are the best. That's actually an awesome
True.
comment with the Snoop Dogg jersey and Eddie George. So awesome. Let's see, what else do we have here before we kind of move on. Jesus says 2K. Randy and Al are in the house. I want to shout out to Oiler Struck. He was the first person to ever follow Twitch. Guys got to get on Twitch. It's where it's where everything's going to start happening. Not necessarily with us, but I will be featured on Twitch a little bit more from Fan to Fan Network. So you definitely got to check that out and come support me. I appreciate it. But it should be a lot of fun. Kelvin in the house. Kelvin's a Colts fan, but it's okay because the Colts fans that come in this house, I don't know how about you, Mr. Titan, and over your channel, but these guys bring up really good information, man, and everybody's respectful in here, so it's good to have them.
Hey, Calvin, come on my channel and check some stuff out. I talked about the Colts, but good stuff. Except Andrew Luck. If you bring Andrew Luck, I don't want to talk. No, I'm kidding.
Johnny, we are glad you found this place, man. We have a lot of fun digesting Titans, do a little NFL too, but and you guys always have awesome comments. Fortune Psych in the house, I agree. Little faith in Corey. Kinsey for MVP for Chef. I heard some comments on Kinsey. There are some people kind of bashing him on my video a little bit, but that's okay. I'm sure he'll more motivation. We're at 50 likes already. We should just
there we go. Nice and easy.
Stop the show. We're done. We're moving. No, I'm kidding.
No, let's keep it going.
T Schwag says Corey Davis really helps blocking down the field. That's a great point. You want your number, the guy you draft 5 overall, to be more than a blocker, but I get your point. It is very vital and that's what we do well. We run the ball. Burns Equipment in the house. What's going on? Burns Equipment. I'm assuming it's farming related. I live in a farming community, so clowning's overrated. Let's see. Tony Joe reporting in. Titan Army. Nice. You guys are the Titan Army. There's the dislike. So somebody did not like the farming community. Somebody does not like farmers. That's okay. We love our farmers here. The like went away. Your Highness in the house. I would love to have Cap. And we're just trying to catch up on some Miguel Dallas. Miguel, is he regular in your channel?
I believe so.
Nice.
If not, he should be.
Some Texas.
Dallas. There we go.
Let's see. Space Daddy. Got to incorporate some LT screens. Al says, I am Oiler Struck. Tony Joe says 50 thumbs. Titan Rob, I'm calling Titans Niners Super Bowl. That would be awesome. Kelvin is already on it. And Your Highness says Titans Weekly had Vince Young on. When we got into that, that was amazing. They didn't let us know. So I will tell you up front, Tennessee Titans Weekly, they do not let anyone know. They're kind of like the Titans, right? They keep everything in, and when you know, everybody knows. So shout out to Tennessee Titans Weekly. So let's get into this a little bit. This is where we're going, and this got me fired up, Mr. Titan. Okay, so I'm sitting in the car. My wife had a doctor's appointment, and you're not allowed to go in because you just can't do that anymore with everything going on. I'm not even going to say anything because I don't want to get blocked from YouTube. But what I would say is I'm sitting there and I'm just listening. And I'm listening to Sirius XM Radio, and they have a show on called The Blitz. Okay? And I forget the guy's name, but Bruce Kurkowski, whatever, the backup quarterback a long time ago for the Steelers and stuff, he was on there with the host. I don't know if you guys know who the host is. Bruce, maybe? Something Bruce? No, I don't know. But regardless, it's not important. So here's basically what they said. They were talking about the AFC South. And they were talking about the Colts. Okay, they had some really good conversation. Did they believe in Phillip Rivers? That kind of stuff. Well, this is where Bruce chimes in. And he says, well, what about the Texans? And right away, Mr. Titan, I'm thinking, okay, here we go. Here we go, right? So, but that's not the important part of the story. So I'll get to the catch. Here it is. Basically, they were saying that the Tennessee Titans, the way we play offense, Derrick Henry, play action, A.J. Brown, they said our style doesn't win Super Bowls. it was nice we got to the AFC Championship. Okay, they kind of almost put it like we were lucky. The teams didn't really know how to handle Tannehill. We had a lot of things go our way. Teams couldn't stop Derrick Henry late in the season. But we showed our true colors, they said, against the Chiefs. And me listening to this, it pains me because, number one, these are analysts that have a show on SiriusXM, and they obviously break down stuff all the time. And they say, you know what? They just say teams that win the Super Bowl just don't win the way we win. So before I give my comments on this, and you guys can definitely get your comments and kind of put them on the screen, Mr. Titan, how do you feel about those comments? The Tennessee Titans style on offense doesn't win Super Bowls. Now, real quick, there will be people big Titan Upload, Mr. Titan. The Titans haven't won any Super Bowls, so obviously their style doesn't win them. But they're talking about how we play the game. They're comparing us with other teams that run the same style of offense that we do. Run heavy, play action, and how we're built as a team. And they said this is not a team that's they actually I think we're going to finish third. And Libby Sports, I picked up a book the other day on breakdowns. First thing I pull up, Jaguars fourth. Okay, I'm like, that's fine. Turn the page, Titans third. I'm like, okay, I'm not buying anymore. Put it down, walked away. But what do you feel about the Titans style doesn't win Super Bowls?
I disagree. It's weird though, because it's like a mix. Because the only thing, so this is how I think about it. Okay, the reason why we lost the AFC Championship game last year was because we didn't change it up at all. Like our run first is great, and it kills when we kill the clock and we run the ball and we have a decent lead. But once that lead gets tarnished, right, and now they're starting to catch up, or that we're playing catch up, we didn't change our style, and I think that was the biggest mistake we did in the AFC Championship game. It's just we kind of tried to kind of gunsling it after, and it just didn't work out. I think our style could win us a Super Bowl. I don't think we can't. It's just, again, that change of halftime coming out and kind of running almost the same plays, or not changing up completely. And we didn't have an answer for Mahomes.
No, we didn't. And that game, and people bring up that game all the time. Their point was this. They said, when someone throws the ball for 5 yards, I'll ask you, because this is their argument why the Titans can't win a Super Bowl, or anybody that runs our scheme. And great point. I forget who it was. Yams basically said the 49ers run the same zone system as we do, and they almost won they should have won the Super Bowl, honestly.
They should have, yeah.
But looking at the Tennessee Titans, 5 yards, okay? If Tannehill threw the ball a slant, okay, to Corey Davis, 5 yards, okay, first down. How you feeling about that? Are you excited?
I'm fine, as long as we're getting first downs.
Yeah, I mean, now you're 2nd and 5, right? Their point is, if you run the ball for 5 yards on the first play of the game, how do you feel about that? And now it's 2nd and 5 after you run the ball. This does have a point. This has a point.
As long as it's positive yards and then we're not going backwards, I'm okay with.
So the point they were making is you're basically saying you don't care if you run the ball or you pass the ball, as long as you get first downs, as long as you move the chains, as long as you pick up productive yards, you're okay with it, right?
Yep.
Put you on the witness stand here, Mr. Titan.
I see that.
Okay. They had the complete opposite. They said when you pass the ball for 5 yards, nobody cares. It's whatever. You move on to the next play. Kind of almost like it's not anything big, so whatever. But if you run the ball for 5 yards, it's a big deal. People high-five each other. Good run. Go Derek, whatever. Their point is, passing the ball down the field is where it's at. They think people who can throw the ball down the field consistently, rack up passing yards, is the way to win in the NFL, and that's the way it goes. And teams that run it, I'm going to tell you, they said we were like the 1970s. That's what they said. The Tennessee Titans run a 1970s style offense, and that doesn't translate in the NFL anymore. I'm telling you, this thing is not just them, though. That's why I brought it up. It's a good talking point. It's going to be a good video to break down in the next day or two and get that out there to you, because this is what the national media does to the Titans. This is why on every preview show throughout the beginning of the season, the Tennessee Titans just don't get any love. They don't know how to take us because we don't have anybody that basically goes is a me guy, which is a good thing, I think. We don't have any me guys. And we got guys like Derrick Henry that can run the crap out of the ball, and our offensive line is built to run it. And why would you go away from your strengths? I mean, why would you do that?
True.
If your strengths are running the ball, then run the darn ball and have the other team stop them. Mm-hmm. So they're saying, okay, in the Kansas City game, we're running the ball, and the first 2-3 games before that, get to Kansas City, we can't run the ball. That's not true. Go back and watch that game. Derrick Henry was running the ball. Derrick Henry, I want to say, had
was going off.
11 carries for 52 yards. I know it's not the standard of Derrick Henry for the 200 yards, Mr. Titan, but he was picking up some big chunks. He'd pick up 11, he'd pick up 7, he'd pick up 8. That ticks me off, because if you go in the third quarter, the reason why we lost that game is because of what happened towards the end of the first half. Couldn't make a play on Mahomes. He goes 40 yards for a touchdown. Rashad Evans was hurt, man. I just don't. But
he was.
The third quarter, they played keep away versus us. And you would think people that do football 24/7, they analyze football, would go back and see that. But they don't.
And pick it up, right? And
they don't. Yeah. So I'm not buying into it. I don't think you should either. I'm not saying the Titans are going to win the Super Bowl. But I'll tell you what. I mean, they bring up the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles, they didn't really throw it, but they didn't really run it. The Eagles had a well-oiled machine, and I think you can win. Trust me, man. I mean, I think you can keep yourself in a lot of games. And if the Titans just want to go and then, okay, shotgun, Ryan Tannehill, throw it 50 times a game, yeah, we're probably going to be 7-9, 8-8, right? You go with your strength. Do you have any more comments on that, or are we ready to move on?
Do you think it's because the NFL wants it to be a pass first type? Is that what they're looking for? More exciting games by having quarterbacks who can throw the ball, 28, 29 times a game? You think that's what they're looking for?
Yeah.
And the way our formula is, it's not, I guess, not sexy enough for TV. Is that why? They're running it again. Oh, that's boring. You get what I'm saying?
I think that's a lot of it. But their argument was kind of okay, if the Titans fall behind, they're done. Didn't we come back and win some games this year? I mean, haven't we come back before and win some games and grind and find ways to pull it off? I mean, we can do multiple things too. And that's what ticks me off. Go back to, we got the Colts, some Colts fans in the house today. I don't know if they're still here, but you go back to that Colts game at Indy. That was a close game. You know what won us that game was special teams with the blocked field goal return. It was 14-14
and then
at
after
that point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was close.
So all I want, Mr. Titan, and this is why I made a YouTube channel, I want someone to give us an honest, fair assessment. That's it. Give us an honest, fair assessment of what we are. You're the analyst. You guys are the ones that are educated for this stuff. We're just fans, supposedly. But the point of the story is cover us like every other team you cover. I mean, they can tell you inside and out what's going on in Pittsburgh. They can tell you inside and out what's even going on in Cleveland. But when it comes to the Titans, man, we're still saying Corey Davis is the number one receiver. They don't even mention it. Like you mentioned, A.J. Brown.
I was appalled by that. I was like, wait, did he just say on national TV that I was like, that was the only threat we had as wide receiver was Corey Davis? I'm like, I was like, okay. That's when I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Again, we don't get recognition, man. We never get recognition. All the first take and all the Skip Bayless and and all this stuff. I mean, they never give the Titans credit.
No.
It's always, what did the other two team do to lose? I'm like, why can't we just play really good football? No, nothing.
So Mario brings up a good point about the coaches and how many times the Titans have tried different systems. We change coaches, OCs every other year. Now we're going into this year. Defense is maybe a concern. Dean Pease is gone. Kerry Coombs has moved on to Ohio State. But when you look at the offense, everybody's intact, right? The only person on offense that we lost from the starters was Jack Conklin, right? Delaney Walker really didn't do a whole lot after the Cleveland game, realistically. I wish he did more. So there were, and Deion Lewis did obviously nothing. But you get the point. Like, we didn't really lose anybody on offense. Tajay Sharp, maybe that comes back to hurt us a little bit. But I think for the most part, we should be set, I think we rank 15th, by the way, with starters lost. And, 100% if you don't lose anybody, and then every player you lose from your start out of the 22 that gives you percentage. I think we ranked halfway, but I don't think we lost. We kept Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. We know AJ Brown's a stud, so your defense is intact.
The defense is the only thing, again, that was a little worrisome. Other than that, our offense should be okay. Again, defense, we lost a lot of
thanks, Johnny.
Veteran leadership.
Thanks, sorry.
What's up, Johnny? Thank you, John. I don't know what happened. But defense, we lost a lot of veteran leadership. Wesley Woodyard, Logan Ryan, Jarrell Casey. So those are big pieces we lost.
Yeah. Jameson says, "Can I mention the style of our team that is strong in the run game and is effective quarterback that does not make many mistakes?" That's a really good point too. Strong defense. Those type of teams did win. Baltimore Ravens, right? They won because of defense. The Chicago Bears. The Bears are a team that I'm not scared of them offensively, but defensively they can hold their own. And I know that they've had some issues, making field goals, and they've had some things kind of happen there. But for the most part, the Bears are really productive with their defense. Our defense isn't terrible. It's not. If we can stop the run, I feel like our secondary is pretty good. We need a pass rusher. I do want to get to the Clowney stuff before I forget. Noah left a comment. Titans are able to clock manage well, have explosive underdog players. That's true. And people are only bashing the Titans because they haven't been consistent before Tannehill. 9-7 consistent, but I get his point. We're not the team that's always in the AFC Championship game. Chris Frazier, awesome website, by the way. So another shout out to you for Facebook and all that you do. We appreciate it. He says we got our number one receiver. And Marcus was the quarterback, and that's probably why everything happened. Bleacher Report ranks every team's wide receivers according to LGRW, and they rank us 24th. So that's probably not great either. But I don't care about our rankings there, right? Fantasy football numbers. But this Titans team, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we put up 30 points a game to close out the year last year?
Yeah.
In the regular season?
Once Tannehill
Calvin, good point
got
too.
in the helm. What did Calvin say?
He said that basically the 49ers run the same type of system, and they got to the Super Bowl. So, but their argument is they didn't win the Super Bowl, but whatever. That just gets me fired up, man. 501 says, I love the scheme or like the scheme. Gino's in the house, by the way, too. We'll get to Gino. I like our scheme. When Derek is running well, the O-line gets motivated. Yeah, it's like an oiled machine, right? Gaining steam, all that kind of stuff. But we can still use that philosophy. And if Tannehill needs to throw the ball, I feel confident we can make plays. The idea, though, a lot of people, national media-wise, if you run this style, Mr. Titan, it's like you're running clock, you're running the ball, and if they stop the run, well, obviously any team who predominantly runs, I'll flip it around. What happens if you're so pass-oriented? It's 5 degrees outside, it's 30 miles an hour winds, and it's pouring rain or it's freezing rain or whatever. There's my point. And when do those games pop up? Playoff time, baby. So, again.
Yep, late December.
Oh, man. Get me on that show. Get me on that show.
We'll see Sunday night in Green Bay how exactly what you just said. We'll see what happens. If it's rainy, if it's windy, it's cold, that's the game. That's Derrick Henry's game right there.
King Isaac, what's going on, man? And then Gino says, I think the culture in the locker room count for win. Yeah, he's right. They do. The culture, The belief in J-Rob, I know the Casey thing, we can kind of debate that, but, on the surface, J-Rob seems to really bring people in. They seem to be the same type of guys. They're team first, and that's what we love about our Titans, right? I just feel like that. I mean, that's the style that can win, at least be productive. There's no one on this team that says they can't get better. Bring in Kevin Byard, and you'll get that. I mean, you can talk to the guy for 5 minutes. Kevin Byard, they asked him if they want to bring on Clowney. And I thought he's still in the mold, right? It's like second nature to him. It's like he doesn't have to watch his words. He can just tell you right up front what's going on. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is well, we already kind of got some guys. Landry, Vic Beasley, you know what I mean? And they said, yeah, we could use him. We would turn him away, but I thought that was interesting. Al says, good point, Upload. What's happened to us back in the run and run and shoot days? Yeah. And then we couldn't close out the Bills game. You know what I mean? Could not close that game out for anything. So Titan Rob says, makes you think that if we had Wake and Butler available for the AFC Championship game, maybe things are a little bit different. Especially Butler. I think Butler would have made, or a healthy Evans would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, definittle
before,
Wake was making some noise too.
He
wasn't getting to the quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, week one was nice.
It was. I was hoping that was going to be all year. The advancement of the passing game will make our offense more complex. Yeah, you're right. Hard to scheme against. And Smith has already kind of come out and said this, DeMario says. That's a good point. 501 says we need to get Byard for mayor. Randy says Vrabel's coach of the year. And then it was always a dogfight when we watched the Titans play. NFL wants blowouts or shootouts. So sad part is they probably do want. And they want their teams to get in there. The Steelers, the Cowboys, even the Giants. They love the Giants for whatever. And it's the New York market. Okay, real quick. Sorry to change gear. We got 55 people in the house. We got 53 likes. If you have not,
that's what's up.
Check this out on YouTube. We're on YouTube, Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I think you're about ready to get on Facebook. And then you have YouTube, obviously. That's your go-to. And we're going to start calling you Mr. Interview. So maybe that would be a cool name, right?
Yeah.
That's
not too bad.
Wall of Fame, I want to throw that up there. So this is our past Wall of Fame, and we had some really good conversations, and I really enjoyed all of you last week in the morning. We did the morning show a couple times. We did one on Tuesday. We did one on Saturday because it was my son's birthday. You guys showed up, man. You were showing up in the house, bringing your comments. You guys had some really nice things to say. We had a Buffalo Bills fan who was first. Today, however, we had LGRW, who was first.
Here we go.
I'll throw him on there. Yeah. So the Titans representing in the house tonight. But no, it was a lot of fun. So I do appreciate you guys. I do. And, if you're new to the channel, I always kind of, it's like signing a contract for DirecTV, Dish Network, or a phone company. You get a lot of free stuff in the beginning because you're new. Well, if you're new in here, I can't send you money and stuff, but what I can do is put you on the weekly Wall of Fame. So I can definitely do that. And I have the new logo. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get into that.
I'm excited.
So we're gonna step away, okay? And I put a little bit of time into it. I know it's a logo. It is what it is. But this has been a journey. It's been a fun journey. I want to thank you. We went over 2,500 the other day. And I tell you what, that means the world to me. It means the world to my family, honestly. You guys are the reason why I can still do this. And my family's on board. Because, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Mr. Titan can agree, especially with his interviews. There's a lot of prep work. There's a lot of planning that goes involved in this. There's always stuff that seems to go wrong. You got to fix it on, instantly. So I want to put this up there. I apologize if it's too loud, and then we'll get into some closing comments. What'd you think?
Woo! That looks clean, man. I love it. I
Man,
love it. That looks.
I
Oh.
it was fun, man. I know that you had a new logo and you had a cool animation come out, and much respect to you. That was a lot of fun to see the sword. That sword thing, man, when that comes crashing down, and oh, that's awesome. But
No, but this looks nice, man.
this is kind of have some fun. Like I said, I don't like to change. I don't like to change logos all that too much. But I do think it's pretty cool, just to keep up. You know what I mean?
You're in the water. I love that you're in the water. Sorry, I'm still looking at it.
Yeah.
That's cool though. That's something that could easily be on a shirt.
Yeah, and that's
I'll buy it.
speaking
Give
with
me a shirt.
the
Give me a
shirt. The shirt merch has been up, and here's the thing: like I had a merch that really a couple of the guys got some mugs and stuff, which was cool. I did a shirt design, but I didn't put it on there. I only kind of gave it to a couple people right away. Some supporters in the very beginning that were very vital to the channel. So I wanted to show my appreciation. So we will be doing some kind of shirt giveaway in the next month. I promise you that. So, but I would say if you would have went on the YouTube and you would have clicked on the old merch shop, I know it's very small, but you could have clicked on there and you would have knew the new logo as early as, I want to say it was on there on Wednesday. So you would have already known it. But yeah, so it is what it is. But I'm super pumped, man.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
I'd love to get it on a helmet. So I'm still working on some things, but it's fun. The new intro is not going to be coming out anytime soon. That's a work in progress. So we're going to roll with the old logo for that, but the new logo is going to start popping up. So I wanted to have some fun with it. So I apologize if it was too long or whatever. We do have a super chat. Beal in the house says, "Tighten up, man. Love it all." Thank you, man. We love you. Zach in the house, tighten up, man. Hope all's well in Illinois. Miguel says yes. Tony Joe said, "I liked it a ton and I'm picky." Thank you. Shout out to the guy who did it. I'm not going to put his name on here, but if you guys want to, he didn't tell me to do it. So, but I didn't make it myself. I actually, again, the one thing you can say about me is everything that you guys give for super chats and stuff, I always reinvest in the channel, whether it's better lighting, better camera. I got music now, which is fun. I mean, there's this whole setup we got here. It's been a blast, and I could not have done it without you guys. Got to get some decals. Yes, I am in the process of trying to get some decals and posters, believe it or not. Should have a poster set up here in a couple days. Speaking of which, we've reached our time, okay? But I wanted to close it out with your posters in the back, because that's a cool story and these guys should know about it. What in the world, where can they get one of these things? Eddie George, Chris Johnson, you got McNair now, Vince, VY.
Yep. So they're you can get them on Sports Print, and I don't know if I can put it or let you guys know about the website and stuff, but Sports Print, and I mean, it's awesome. They got a bunch. And again, it's not only Titan stuff. They have every single player that you can name of. Michael Jordan. They have, if you want Dennis Rodman, they probably can make it. And it's really cool because it's unique because it's not it's not everywhere. You can't find these anywhere. So they have their career stats on every game they played. For Chris Johnson's, like, his receiving yards, his rushing yards for each of the games, the final score of the game, and it's really really nice. It looks really really good too. I put them in frames and stuff, and I do appreciate it that you let me show these bad boys off, because I mean, they look pretty good there, but I think I might move them around. I just had too much stuff on the wall. I have to start switching things around. But as of right now, they're just on the side. And again, I put almost like a combination. I put Steve McNair with Eddie George, Vince Young with Chris Johnson. So
No, I think they're cool. They are super exciting, and man, if you could get all of them, like every single one in your backdrop, dude, that would be phenomenal. So we have Chef. We owe you, man, because I would have forgot. So Chef saves the day. He's like, you talked about Clowney. You told us you had something on Clowney, and then you said you were going to talk about it, and then you started with this logo stuff. So what's going on with Clowney? Well, here's the Clowney stuff. Okay. Honestly, guys, you're gonna get mad at me. I'm still like, I was always like 80-20, 70-30, 60-40. I'm under 50 now. I'm right around like 49. 49, I think we'll get them. 51, we won't. And here's why. Cleveland Browns will not go away. He rejected them once. Supposedly, I read something even today that they're back in on him. If you could imagine him joining that Browns defensive line. Now, I think Vernon would be gone. So then, I mean, I don't know if Vernon does anything for you, Mr. Titan, to have him on the Titans, but that is picking up more and more steam, and there's smoke there, and it's not going away, and that's what concerns me. Yes, there's Titan stuff. We're supposed to get them because of Vegas and all that. Maybe the Titans are just playing it very low-key, but man, every time, Mr. Titan, I know we could do a whole segment on this, but every time you hear J-Rob talk and anybody talk Vrabel, it's like, yeah, they want him. Yeah, they've talked to him in the past, but it's gone nowhere since then. It's like they don't even, they're not going to tell you that. I get it. But on the flip side of it, the longer this drags out, the Browns keep coming up.
Worse.
Maybe the media wants him to go to the Browns. Do you have any feelings on that before we go?
I mean, it could also be that. You're right on that. That's a really good point. I mean, the Browns, it just might look better for the Browns, and the media might just kind of go off that and like, hey, yeah, go to the Browns. Just like, again, you never know. They have a lot of money. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see in a couple of days, or he has a little bit longer than that. I mean, he's milking this thing out. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We'll see.
Once you let everyone know about the projects we got going on.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the project. So we're overtime. Okay, the show's over. If you want to leave. If you want to stay, we're gonna hang out with you for a little bit longer. We're calling it overtime. Titan upload overtime. It's just totally made up right now. But, I mean, officially over. But we do have a few more things to kind of break down. But, yeah, this is what we got going on for you. So, it's kind of breaking news, but it's not. I think it's fun. It's exciting to think about our future, where we're going. But Mr. Titan and I will be kind of working together on a few projects. The first one is going to be a live show. So, a live show during the games. It's a watch-along. And for me personally, it's not going. I'm a season ticket holder. Mr. Titan's got a lot of stuff going on as well. He's going to a couple or one or two, maybe a road game here or there and a home game. But the Titans, I don't even know if fans are going to be allowed in, but we're going to do stuff with you. We'll do some fun at halftime, and we'll just hang out with you. Now, we're not going to do it every game, but we're going to do it, I don't know. What would you say? I mean, we've talked like 6 right now to start off with, maybe more.
Yeah, 6 games.
And we'll rotate channels, Hopefully you won't give me all the Jaguar games, man. But we'll rotate. We'll let you know where it's going to be, either on his channel, my channel. And then we also got something going on that we're going to hopefully start in July, right around training camp. we're going to really try to get the radio show going for you guys, right? So we'll put a number on the screen. You guys can call in. We'll get your comments on here. And like I said, there's no reason for me not to trust you guys because you guys are in here all the time and you guys are always respectful. You know, you are. And a lot of you guys are in here all the time, you know. So we respect the heck out of you guys. But that is the idea. We'll put a number on the screen. You guys can call in, maybe like post-game shows, or we're still in the process with that. But we did want to let you know, like, there are a lot of things we're at least thinking about and what we can do to keep going with you guys and give you more and more content, but give you a platform. Give you a platform to speak, to let us know your opinions, and to digest what you think. So hopefully you guys are on board with that. Now, I have one audio clip who was emailed to me, Michael. So shout out again to Michael. And I will play that clip tomorrow. It's a question on Corey Davis. So that's going to be tomorrow with Brian. Brian will break down a little bit of the draft, and then I definitely will play that clip. If you guys want a question for tomorrow's show, definitely email me. You can find my email in the About section on my YouTube channel, and email me a file, and I'll listen to it. And obviously, if it's family-oriented, family-friendly, we'll put it on the air, and we will answer questions. It could be about the draft. It could be about the Titans. It could be about anything in the NFL. Guys, if you want to ask anything on Kaepernick, that's your time to ask it. Ask it, put it on an audio thing, send it to my email, and I'll put as many as I can, and we'll just kind of treat that as a warm-up to what a radio show would sound like. And if you ever want to go visit Law Nation, he does Cowboys, I know. Shout out to Law Nation. Dude's better than ESPN right now. He's better than ESPN right now. And he's been doing this audio stuff for a long time, so a shout out to him.
He has the voice too.
Yeah,
the voice.
So for you, any closing comments? Anything you want to say before? Anything you want them to know you got going on? And dude, it's gonna be excited to work with you, man. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with those watch-alongs.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the watch-alongs. Will be really good. I have one project coming up. I've talked about it on my show. It's called Throwback Thursdays, and I'll just be talking about a certain player from a certain game, and it could be from Eddie George, Steve McNair. Again, Titans have a lot of players, a lot of legends, and a lot of legendary games that I could talk about. And it's going to be a two-part series. The first one I'm going to start off is Vince Young. And it's just going to be something a little bit different. It's not going to be me obviously sitting in my garage talking. So look out for that. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, please do me a favor. Go ahead, jump on Mr. Titan, see a couple of interviews I had, and just support the channel, man. Support Titan Nation. I support everyone, love everyone. Anyone who rocks the two-tone blue, I'm all for it, guys.
Yeah, and we appreciate you in the Titans community. I mean, the Lance Smith thing was just awesome. I mean, I didn't realize, like, how cool he is. Like, when you go to the games, he is, like, loud, and he's definitely energetic. But I didn't know, like, some of these guys, let's just be honest, they work for the Titans, but they're not Titan fans. I mean, think about how many radio guys, if you go and look at any of the stations, for example, I think it's Braden Gall from, maybe I messed up his last name, from ESPN 1025 The Game. If you go listen to him, he's a Packer fan. Like, he's a diehard Packer fan, and he's breaking down content on the Titans, which is fine. This is his job. And I feel like we could do that pretty good on other teams. But because we are so passionate about the Titans, it's just, like, I didn't know that he was so passionate. I thought maybe he just works for him and whatever.
Yeah, but no, he loves them, man.
He loves them.
Die hard.
So definitely go check that one out. TD, I did not know some of the stuff with TD, like him passing out cards at, to get a chance.
When he first started. Yeah,
right. So that's, it shows you how hard he's been working at his job. And then you had, my mind's went blank.
Jim Wyatt. Jim Wyatt was awesome. Jim Wyatt was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome
and you asked the spider question. That's awesome. And he remembers. He remembers that. So, all right. So we're going to wrap it up. Lawrence, we'll get into that probably. Honestly, I mean, both of us could probably do a show on like the whole show on Kaepernick.
You could
You know,
easily, easily.
you know, and but we'll try to address that maybe tomorrow. So if you want to get that in for tomorrow, definitely let us know. And I'll try to remember your question, just to be honest with you, because I screenshot a lot of these to get on the Wall of Fame. Oiler struck, what's going on, man? First follower on, which is Al. I think we figured that one out today. Rex, let's see. A lot of people don't remember what Henry did later in the half of 18. That's a good point, when he went off. And they don't realize how few carries he had the first 2 years. You know, and that's a good point, too. It's a good job, Rex. Little Debbie's late, but that's okay. It's, you know, it was a fun show, but I'm just glad that you're here. Thanks for the support. And I think that's pretty much it. Music City guys. Somebody mentioned something about the Lions. LGRW thinks the Lions could be a sleeper. Play them at the end of the year. The schedule's I feel like it's gonna be a tough schedule. There's not many cupcakes on there. JB says very cool logo. So Wade Wells in the house. Congratulations, Gino. Appreciate your sacrifice to the family and the wife for their sacrifice. Yeah, I mean, they deserve a lot of respect. I mean, you could probably talk about this too real quick. I mean, how much your family with allowing you to do what you do.
Definitely. There's a lot of support that goes through this. You know, I have my son and stuff, but again, it's all fun, and I love doing this. Again, it's not even it doesn't even feel like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's, you know, put in a lot of work. I do put a lot of work in, but at the same time, I enjoy it, and that's what I never want, you know, to go away, is that the love for this team and love putting out content for everyone. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you can, you know, upload, you can say the same thing probably, is just once you put that out there and people start commenting and liking stuff and enjoying the stuff that you worked so hard on. Because I know, again, like you said, the editing, all that goes in, a lot of work into this, into making a video for maybe like 20 minutes would take 4 hours sometimes, you know, just to get everything right. And again, I appreciate you for everything you're doing. You're killing it. Keep doing it. And I can't wait to work, you know, with you in the future, man. It's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, I think it is gonna be a great season. It's exciting. I think there is gonna be a season. So let's just hopefully we can have one. But you too. I mean, keep up the great work on those interviews. I mean, you have spoiled, like literally spoiled these guys and myself, man. Because if you think about it, like you're bringing in guys, and you're also like, you're doing a very good job of like mixing it up. So it's not like you're just doing all live and you do them back to back to back. I mean, you spread it out. You have like your own show, like a season, right? Like Mr. Titan and the Titan celebrities and stuff. I mean, you do a really good job, man. So keep up the great work. I have Brian on, and Brian's going to give us more insight on our draft picks that we drafted. Because obviously he's the professional. I am not. I tried my best. I'm all done with the draft picks now. So we're moving on. And then if you guys have, honestly, guys, if you have any audio questions or just questions in general, you let me know, and we will get them on at some point tomorrow. So again, Mr. Titan, thank you. And you guys have a great night. And don't forget to tighten up. See you guys.